Black Ass Podcast with Hadia Robinson. Bono, 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 boom, ba-dum. Keep on. I'm going to give you something to cry about. Keep on. Bono, boom, ba-dum. I'm here for that $35 you owe me. Bum, 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 bum. I said use 2 teaspoons of seasoning salt, not 2 cups. You trying to kill me. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Black Ass Podcast. Y'all, you don't know how much joy I get out of recording those little black ass. It's been so much joy. Hey, I'm glad you guys came back. Hey. All right. So, this past week was it was great. Specifically because I got to achieve a dream that I have held for, oh gosh, almost like 20 years now, over 20 years. Yeah, well over 20 years. And it's just one of those things where the moment happens and you realize it, and it's almost like you go into a dream sequence, like it's happening and you know what you're about to say or do because you've planned for this moment for so long and you just never thought it would come to fruition, and here it is. You're standing in this moment and it's like, oh my, and so it's like, oh, right. So I'm talking to my friend, shout out to my homeboy Spry for just making this happen. And he's telling me how his sister made this meal and it had all this food in it, and he said candy yams and potato salad. And I was like, 2 types of potatoes, Gina? Now, for those who don't know where that comes from, it's from the episode of Martin. Yes, yes. Let me have my moment. It's from that episode of Martin when Martin was about to get into shape and he had got on this real strict diet, and Gina was trying to figure out how she was going to break him from this diet because he was tripping and he made her some broccoli pops or whatever. And then she made this elaborate meal for herself because she was about to get on the Martin Payne You Go Girl diet plan or whatever. And she made him like some beet juice wine with a rice cake, but she made herself like a steak. She had mashed potatoes and candy yams. And when when Martin seen that plate, he went off. 2 types of potatoes, Gina? Oh, you don't even understand. It was just like I was standing in a moment of so much joy. It was like, it's like you have these dreams for your life. These dreams that you just hope one day come true. I'm sorry. Woo! Oh my God. And I said it with the exact same amount of anger. Anyway, so that was my moment I had this week. I was beyond elated that dreams come true, people. That's all I want to say. You just gotta believe and know and recognize. I'm about to give y'all an Oprah Soul Sunday masterclass moment. Ayanla, she trying to fix it, but her toolkit ain't really at the house. You just gotta believe. Oh God, this is so ignorant. Anyway, so that was it. That was my week of just, but then y'all, I had another moment of joy. And I don't even know if it was necessarily joy, but it was like, that's what you get. That's some black ass shit right there. That's what you get. And I had that this week, and it felt good and it felt bad at the same time, right? So I watched a video rather of some dude taking a jackhammer to Donald Trump's star on a Walk of Fame. And I was like, yeah, that's what you get. Like I just felt like So I was having conversation with other people, and they were just like, there's not that not that they felt bad for him, anything like that, but they just felt like it was such a statement to the climate out here, and just the very hard feelings that people have for or against Trump and what he's doing. And you know I just, I felt bad because that's not necessarily a win. First of all, whoever gave him a star is an asshole. Like, let's just start there, okay? The fact that Donald Trump would even have a star, he's not a celebrity. He's not an actor. He's not you can't put him on the same level with uh, uh, Sidney Poitier or Denzel or Meryl Streep or hell, not even Sylvester Stallone. Hell, at least Sylvester Stallone lent something. You know what I mean? Like the idea that this orange fucking starburst, which I can't even say that because at least starburst has a form. He's like a orange. He's like a piece of candy corn. That's exactly what if you look at him, he is a, if you stripped him naked, he would be a candy corn. It's that level orange and then white at the top because that hair is whatever that is. And we don't even know what candy corn, like, let's be honest. We don't know what the goes into making candy corn. So it's the same concept, right? And so, but that's what you get was just for me, it was like you have created such a uh he has like uprooted such I'm trying to find a smart way to say it, but he done got all the crazy white people riled up. Boom, that's what I want to say. Right, I was trying to find but shit, I ain't seeing in. He has got all the crazy backwoods ass white people in their feelings and riled up, feeling like they can do whatever they want to do, and out here acting crazy and being all, he has just created a place, a temperature, climate. He has created a climate where these crazy white people feel like they can do whatever they want, they can say whatever they want, and they can just, get away with it, and it's going to be cool. And that's not cool. And, what is going to happen is that there's going to be well, I don't want to say it's going to be, but it's feeling like something is going to happen, right? And I'm sure I'm not the only person that feels this way. I've had conversations with people and we're all saying the same thing, that there's something bubbling, something brewing. And, that is from him. I specifically blame, I feel like it started in the Republican Party, but I feel like this last year, it has specifically been him. So, that's what you get is just that idea of chickens coming home to roost. And it's just a white dude. And the thing is that that's one of them things where a black dude couldn't even do it. Even if the black dude wanted to do it, he couldn't do it. And here's why. Because nobody, like when people see white people doing stuff, nobody necessarily stops them, right? What I mean by that is when you black, a white person who ain't got nothing to do with nothing that, they not official. They don't necessarily work for anybody. Nobody has granted them any authority. Nobody has given them some star like we back in the old Wild West. None of that. But they will have the audacity to come up to you and just start telling you what you can and can't do. And you're looking like, if you don't get out of my face, I'm sure y'all saw this video of this black girl. She's walking her dogs, and some woman is like, "You're not supposed to be here." And the black girl is like, "But is this your property?" "No, but you're not supposed." Bitch, if you don't get out of my face, don't worry about what I'm doing over here. This ain't your property. You don't own nothing over here. You don't own me. But she had that audacity. So that, and you know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. If that would have been a black dude on the Hollywood Walk of Fame that just pulled up in a construction truck, put the barriers up, had his helmet on, the goggles, the vest, and just pulled out a pickaxe and starts tearing up the sidewalk, somebody would come over and be like, excuse me, buddy. They would just, I don't know. I just feel like it would be somebody would have stopped them. Even if everybody hated Trump, somebody would have been like, no, that's not, hey, put that down. I'm calling the cops, right? But, in this case, shout out to the white dude that nobody stopped, that tore the whole sidewalk up with a pickaxe. Yo, he went off. Pickaxe, that's what it was. It wasn't a jackhammer. It was a pickaxe. Tore the sidewalk up. Oh, some man strength. Like, I felt like if he wouldn't have had a shirt on, we would have been able to see them back muscles flex. Like, let me see that back. anyway. But I say all that to say it brought me a little bit of joy, because it was like, that's what you get, because it's chickens coming home to roost. This is the environment that Donald Trump has created with his, talking to them crazy ass white people. Sorry, white people, get your cousins. And I said a few episodes back when I was doing What Is This podcast, I'm just not going to talk to these black people that's voting for Trump and out there stomping for Trump and, Silky and Divine or whatever, them two aunties, them black ass aunties. I'm not talking to them. I just can't do it. So y'all go right ahead. Keep taking y'all ass to them. You keep believing that, you know what, I'm not going to do this. There we go. I'm not going to do this. I'm going to enjoy. I'm going to savor my moment. Last week was a good week. 2 types of potatoes. Donald Trump's star getting tore up off of the Walk of Fame. So you just gotta celebrate when you can celebrate. I am fully praise dancing and celebrating. Last week was a good week. Not even last week. I think that was this week. I don't know time. Come on, guys. So what else is going on? Gwan on. So this mom who was actually a teen mom on MTV. Her name is Nicole Paulin, and she recently posted some pictures of her 6-year-old son doing house chores, and she was just talking. She captioned them by saying, she wants to teach her son how important it is to know how to take care of himself, to be, whatever. And some people were like, yeah, that's great. And then some ridiculous people, and I think it's just the internet feeling like they got to have something to say, or the fact that we saw you at 16 and pregnant and felt like you're trash. So now we're just going to tell you and talk about you regardless of what you do. Like, this girl could have had her baby reading books. They'd have been like, babies shouldn't be reading books. Almost like, I'm a better mother than you because you was on 16 and pregnant and I wasn't, right? But people were just coming out like, your kids aren't slaves and they shouldn't be doing work and blah, 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 right? And first of all, I don't even know how you grow up or raise kids that don't do chores. That is ridiculous. You know why it's ridiculous? Because I remember meeting people who didn't know how to do their damn laundry when I got to college. I remember meeting people that didn't know how to make a bed or even clean up their room correctly. I know people who still don't bleach and pine saw they damn trash can because they never had to clean up the house. They don't know how to clean up their stove. They don't know how to clean out an oven. Like, if you go in a oven, you will not only unfriend them in real life, you're going to unfriend them on social media. You're going to make sure you tell everybody that you never were friends with them. You're going to take some time off of work to go get a tetanus shot. You're going to go on a very serious body cleanse and go take all your damn vitamins and just start eating garlic from scratch, because it's pretty sure that you got polio, rheumatism. We used to get a line of shots when we was kids, and one of them was for, but you would legit feel like you're gonna die, right? Like, from some old disease that ain't, like some bubonic plague shit. If you open up some people ovens and stoves and shit that ain't never learned how to clean up the house, go to somebody's house who mama never made them do chores and look behind the toilet. And that's all I'm gonna say. Go look. No. You can stop listening to this podcast right now. Get in your car. Matter of fact, you keep it going. Keep listening to the podcast, but go to your just right now. Hey, you home? I'm about to come by there real quick. Go over there. Hey, can I use your bathroom? Go in the bathroom. Look behind the toilet. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. So who are these people out here not giving their kids chores? What do you think kids are supposed to do? You have kids so they can do work for you. And here's the thing. Here's the other thing. Here's the other thing. No amount of work you give a child is going to supersede the amount of work you have to do to maintain them. I mean, it's possible. Of course, there's always exceptions like this, the crazy, the mama from Precious and shit like that. There's always those exceptions. But I'm talking about, hey, I want you to clean your room. Make sure you make up your bed before you leave the house. On Saturdays, we going to wash some walls. Hell yeah. You're going to wash walls because guess what? 90% of the shit on this wall is stuff that your little greasy ass hands done put on the wall. You know what I'm saying? Like, now that I'm an adult, I know not to hold on to the edge of a wall. I know not to come from outside, not wash my hands and go in the refrigerator. I know that you have to clean off your light switch every 3 to 4 months. Just because naturally you have grease and dirt on your fingers. But now imagine you a 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 10, 16-year-old kid leaning on a doorway. You know, when kids get around that like 8 to 12, 14, depend if you're a boy, probably 16, where they just don't wash their ass. They don't shower, they don't take baths, they don't clean up, they barely wash their hands, and they're just dirty, like dirty, like dirty, like they inside but smell like outside. You get what I'm telling you? Like they're just nasty because that's just a part. That's just a part of learning about how to take care of yourself. So the idea that people are out here saying they don't get their kids chores, y'all are bugging. I said chores. You ain't giving your kids chores? You can't be not giving your kid. You can't be not. But you know what I'm saying. You got to give your kids chores. Just to alleviate some of the stress that you have as a person. And I get it. I've talked to people and I know people who are parents and people who feel like I don't want to have these kids cleaning up nothing because they only going to mess it up. And then I got to come back behind them and clean up anyway. Guess what? That's what you do. You a mama, you a daddy. It is what it is. Because guess what? If you don't do it while they adults, if you don't do it while they kids, you're going to end up doing it while they adults. You're going to end up having to come to your kid's house because the landlord then reported them because they got all kind of mites and bites and goddamn bed bugs and rats and roaches and termites, and they done brought in all kinds. They have the Zika virus brewing inside their house because they don't know how to clean up their house. They don't know how to clean out the windows. They don't know about spring cleaning. Spring cleaning is a real ass thing. That's when you take your drapes down, you wash your drapes, you wash your blinds, you go into your windows, because now you're going to open up the windows. You're going to open up your house and bring the outside air in, get the outside air out. You got to clean your walls. Like, it's a whole ass process. It's people out here who don't know to wash their walls. Exactly. Yes. So for those people who... Anyway, y'all go ahead. Guess what? Let me have a kid. It ain't even got to be my kid. Let me have someone young staying at my house. Oh, what you not going to do is sit around here and think you're going to eat cereal and drink up all my damn almond milk and watch TV. And they don't even make cartoons, but now you want to watch cartoons. You better get up, pick up, clean up, sweep up. Have you ever seen somebody grown as hell that don't know how to sweep correctly? Like, you could tell that they didn't learn it till later on in life because their hand placement on the broom is all off. It's like when a kid first start holding a pencil, you're like, why are you pressing the, what are you doing? That's what I've seen grown people hold. You ever seen them try to use, or, anyway, that's all I'm saying. You come up in my house, you're gonna clean up, you're gonna pick up, you're gonna do something, okay? And if I come to your house and I look behind your toilet, if I look in your oven, if I look on your mirror and your mirror got toothpaste from 6 months ago, just splattered and sprayed on your mirror, if I go in your garbage can and there's maggots growing in your garbage can, or I walk in the door and your house smell funny, but you ain't saying nothing, like you can tell people who know how to clean up because you'll come in the house and if the house smell funny, they'll be like, "Yo, I'm sorry," or like, "You smell that? Yeah, I forgot to take the garbage out," or they'll tell you something like that. But if you come to somebody's house, they house smell like shit, and they don't give you no excuse, like they living in this smell and don't even know that it's stinking there. You got a nasty ass friend, and they mama ain't shit, and they daddy ain't shit, because they probably ain't never taught them to clean up. So unless you want somebody talking about your kid like that, then go right ahead. Do everything for them. Clean up after them. And here's the other thing. When you ain't got to clean up, you don't have no problem messing up. You don't have no problem leaving shit all over the house. But when somebody tell you going to have to clean up, you be like, I had this cup. I only use this cup, this spoon, and I had this. I didn't use nothing else in here. I'm gonna clean this out because this is mine and this is all that I use, and I said specifically in this space. Here's the other thing. I saw a woman, and I'm gonna drop this. I saw a woman do a video talking about how, she's talking she's like, if you live with boys and what is the problem with them peeing on the side of the toilet and not peeing in the toilet? And she in there on the ground talking about how she got to be in the bathroom every, twice a week or whatever, cleaning up piss on the floor. And I said, well, hell, that's the reason why they pissing on the floor, because they know your dumb ass going to go in there and clean it up. But guess what? You pee on the floor, you're going to clean it up. Period, point blank, dot, and end of discussion. I don't care if you 2 years old. Guess what? When you piss on the floor, when you pee on the toilet seat, I'm going to take your little hand and I'm going to wrap some tissue around it, and then you going to wipe that pee up. And when you get a little older and you get 5 and 6, your ass is going to grab you're going to get a sponge with some soap water on it, and you're going to wipe that piss off the floor. That's not my pee. That's your pee. So you're going to get it up. And once you get older and you 14 and 15, and you still pissing on my floor, you're going to live with your daddy. You gotta go. Anyway. So shout out to the teen mom from 16 and pregnant. Girl, you out here doing better than a lot of these grown ass people. Y'all bugging. What's next? How do I say goodbye? Vine is closed, man. They're closing down Vine. They're shutting down the Vine. You can't do it for the Vine no more. Now, I just made this announcement. I don't give a fuck about Vine. I don't give a damn about Vine. But I will say I've seen some classic videos on Vine. Shout out to those little Vine people, them little Vine kids. Some of y'all are some grown ass Vine adults, but acting like kids. And I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you at all. But I can only think of a few Vines that was like, I really got into people who would do Vines as other people. Like they would do it and act like they was 2 and 3 different people, but it was clearly just them. And I was like, yo, you creative as hell for that, because you legit just standing here and you turn in different directions and I am dying right now. So I'm not here for Vine people doing stand-up comedy shows. I think that shit is dumb, and I'm sure I've said it a few different times. That shit is ridiculous. But I will give you credit. It is, some of y'all made some classic 6-second shit. 6 seconds. I'm funny. I will give myself that. But it's something about doing it in 6 seconds I'm just not with. Like, I need a little more lead in, But the one that sticks out to me is the dude on the basketball court, and he got the basketball, and it's another little boy taping the whole thing, and the dude with the basketball is like doing all the moves, like and then the dude with the camera like, get that nigga cuss, and the dude like, it's a baby though, but he going through his legs, and he shake the baby, and the baby fall, and the dude holding the camera lose his whole ass mind, like, and it helped because he looked so goofy. It was just perfect. So, and then of course the do it for the I ain't got to Do it for the vine. I ain't gonna do it for the. Uh, yeah. I ain't gonna even front. I like that. That little girl was too cute. So Vine is ending now, but black people, we always come up with something. It's going to be something else. It's gonna, and Vine is just gonna turn into people going to Insta Snapgrams and doing something on Insta Snapgrams or Snapchat, or somebody's gonna come out with something else. You don't just kind of leave that revenue without. But Twitter has been firing everybody, so I guess they was like, something gotta go. Something gotta give. We gotta pay one of these bills. We ain't gonna pay both of them. So if you were thinking of starting a Vine, which I feel like is probably anybody in their late 30s is like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm about to quit my job and become a Vine star. I just want to take some time. I'm sorry. The older you get, you just late. You just late to shit. Trust me, somebody 35 just signed up for Vine last week. Like, just watch. Okay. It's not. I'm not laughing. I am laughing at them, but I'm laughing at just the idea that when you get older, you just got you have so much other shit to think about in life. You so late to the party. Sidebar, I'm talking to my mom today, and she said, have you heard this term Gucci? I'm just hearing it. I'm like, good. I don't need my 70-year-old mama talking about I'm Gucci. Ma'am, go have a nap. Go lay down. Go see if Murder, She Wrote is on TV Land, and go lay down. Talk about how she just finding out about it. Do you go to the club? Let me find out you go to the club. Did you go to a rap battle recently? What are you talking about? It's okay that we don't know everything. Some stuff we don't need to know. Some stuff we just need to hear and be like, oh, okay. Is that what the peoples is saying? All right. Yeah. Mama. If she hear that, I'm going to get a whooping. All right. So, I have a new segment idea I want to start, and it's called If You Don't Sit Your... So this week, Trick Daddy decided to release a short video, probably from his Vine account that he just started. Trick Daddy decided to get online and tell black women they need to tighten up because these white and Spanish chicks is getting spiffy, or they out here coming for us, or... And first of all, I'm giving a very PC version. Talking about you black hoes need to cut the white hoes and the Spanish hoes. Trick Daddy, if you don't sit your fluffy round face ass down looking like you ain't had water since 1993, look like you ain't had a glass of water since they forced you to take a glass of water after you passed out at an old ass Hot Boys concert. Sit your ass. What? Talking about need to tighten up. No, you know who need to tighten up? Yo fluffy ass need to tighten up. Out here with 3 and 4 chins. You out here with gold teeth and got the nerve to have baby teeth. Where they do that? How you out here putting gold on baby teeth? You got a mouthful of baby teeth. Your gold teeth straight got gaps in it. How did that happen, sir? And your gold is mad dirty. Like, how do you... Are you not brushing it? Are you not taking it out? Take them teeth out and put them in some jewelry cleaner, sir. Do something for yourself. Okay? While you worried about who needs to tighten up, why don't you get that hairline tightened up? Why don't you get that waistline tightened up? Because I can see from your neck that you the type of dude that got to wear a tank top and a t-shirt when he having sex because your stomach is fluffy as hell. You look like the type of dude that got to contort your body to even get hit the penis inside when you having sex. You look like the type of dude that got a roll and if you run your finger under his roll, brown and dirt come out because you ain't really washing your ass correctly. That's what you need to tighten up. How about you tighten that up, okay? Because you look like the type of dude that still have sex with old strippers from a strip club that got shut down. Like, you look like the type of dude that you go to his house and his maggots still in his garbage can. But you talk about black women need to tighten up, sir. You need to, first of all, I don't know any black woman that is pressed and or stressed and or hanging outside of the studio where you working out, where you trying to beg baby and whoever else down there, where you and Uncle Luke trying to come back for a damn album release or whatever it is you do during the day. I can't think of one chick who got all her teeth and who work and who got a job and who has anything going for herself and sitting up wondering and praying that she run into Trick Daddy fluffy ass. Trick Daddy, what you need to tighten up is your grip around some weights and start lifting, sir. Okay, that's what you can tighten up. That's what you can get busy with. And I'm just saying that, like, not that I'm even pressed or stressed, because you ain't even the type of dude that I would even entertain and or talk to and or have a conversation with beyond. Hey, which way is the thank you so much and have a great day and God bless? I know, thank you, I'm not interested, and bye. Trick Daddy, ain't nobody pressed for you. Ain't nobody checking for you. Sir, you don't know now nigga that want your album right now. Trick Daddy, if you don't sit show it. All right. Trick Daddy, bye. Anyway, that was fun. I'm gonna have to keep that. If you don't sit your ass. Okay, cool. Here we go. So, in other news, Emmett Till's marker along the Mississippi River was riddled with bullets. In Tallahatchie County, Mississippi, along the river where they found Emmett Till's body, there's a marker that talks about what happened in 1955, and it's been riddled with bullets. Now, this marker has been up since 2008 and has been vandalized numerous times. And now they're raising money, and I think they have raised all the money. They wanted $15,000, and they got like $19,000, which I think is great. But this goes back to what I was talking about before, right? So the Donald Trump chickens coming home to roost, but specifically just that creating that energy and anger around crazy ass white people, and this is what you get, right? So you're white. Because and I can't imagine that some black person is thinking, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go and desecrate this sign that memorializes a young man that was murdered, brutally murdered, right, by two white dudes who were found not guilty by an all-white jury because, back in the day, black people couldn't get any justice. Hell, we can barely get it. Can barely get it today, but and then like months later, the two brothers, they were half brothers, let me see, Roy Bryant and J.W. Millum, just confessed to a magazine like, the black dude that they found in the river whose face was beaten so bad nobody could recognize him but his mama. Oh yeah, we did that. What else is up? Yeah, because that was the luxury white people had in this country to just do whatever they want, and nobody said nothing, and black people just had to take it. That just had to be it. And it was in certain situations where if you was black and talked about it, your ass was in danger of getting murdered just because now they trying to act like you the troublemaker. So, historical sign, riddled with bullets. This is 2016, people. This is happening in 2016. And if you are someone out there who doesn't know who Emmett Till is, I'm very surprised that you're listening to my podcast. So why don't you go ahead and while you're listening to this, find a computer and just log on, put in Emmett Till, go to the images because I think that's a great place to start so you can really understand what I'm talking about and get the severity of what I'm talking about and what this case was. But yeah, 2016, this is what happened. And it's continuing to happen. I just read another story. You know what? I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna do this because okay. I just needed, you know how you just I just took that breath and I thought back on two types of potatoes, Gina. And I just, I had to recenter my soul. I just had to woosah it up. So nobody, of course, has been charged or nobody has come forward about anything. And here's the thing that I have a problem with is that where are the cameras? If this sign has been vandalized, it continues to be vandalized. Wouldn't it be cheaper to find a camera, like put a GoPro on a tree, put some like the same thing that they monitor tigers with? Do something like that. Put a faux bird's nest up somewhere, put a camera in it, and as far as I'm concerned, I feel like it's cameras everywhere. You can't tell me there ain't a camera somewhere. Hell, it's probably a camera in my house looking at me right now. Well, I mean, in the Honeycomb Hideout where I'm actually recording this podcast that don't nobody know about, and this secret location and people just get they can never find. Okay. You get what I'm telling you? Like, where? Anyway. And the thing is, you can't say, what do you need the marker for? It's American history. Leave the marker there. It absolutely should be there. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is not just Black people history. This is American history. This is an American event that happened. And white people, this is a part of y'all raggedy ass legacy. And I know not all white people, Hadia. I know that. I know some of y'all great greats was abolitionists and they was freedom riders and they was, Quakers, and shout out to them. I think that's amazing. But guess what? It was some of y'all is related to Roy Bryan and J.W. Millam. And that's just fact. Some of y'all great greats was judges and police that stood by and allowed people to get off and allowed people to be murderers and didn't ever say something. And anyway. So I'm just saying, it's American history. It should be respected. And unfortunately, it's in Mississippi that's still racist as fuck, and that's just what it is. So I don't know. I mean, I'm just reporting it. I don't have the answers. I'm just reporting it, man. And it sucks because, it's like, this is our real ass life right now. Like, I feel like the last 2 years has been so hard. And I'm sure I've said this before, but I'll say it again. I don't know how they did it. I don't know how they did it. I don't know how Martin Luther King did it. How did he get up every day? How did he continue to sit at that lunch counter with people pushing him and shoving, spitting on him and pouring milkshakes and shit all down his throat or whatever? You know what I mean? How? How did them little girls walk into that school with grown ass people yelling and spitting on them and pointing in their face? Grown adults yelling and pushing and spitting on little kids that's going for education. How? How did they go out with police that's supposed to be serving and protecting the community, pulling dogs and shooting water hoses at them, and they took it? I don't know how. Because I'm telling you, this year has just been, and and it's sad to say, but probably those times, as bad as they were still a step above where they were. Just like I'm sure Black people in the future, Black people will look back on this time with Black Lives Matter and everything that's happening, and they'll probably be like, damn, how was they able to be on Twitter? How was they able, you know what I'm saying? But for us, our time is better than when you look back at the civil rights movement. It's still very much the same though, but it's still better. So it's just, It sucks. And the other thing that doesn't help is that there's no retribution. There's no um there's no consequences for these people. There's never a point where you feel like, okay, these people are going to be prosecuted. They've done something horrible, so they will have to suffer they will have to atone to it. It's none of that. And that's for instance. Okay, I talked about how white people just do whatever they want. Nobody calls them out. Boom. Remember when them white dudes ran up in that federal building and held it hostage, and for like 2 weeks? They was in that building for 2 whole ass weeks. Hold on, my bad. It was 41 days. 41 days. These white people with guns ran up in the federal building over because they felt like they had the right to go into a wildlife preserve, even though you ain't got no. Anyway, so they set up camp. Y'all remember? Y'all remember that? These assholes made a list of everything that they wanted. They wanted blankets and taco shells and tampons and condoms, lube. They didn't want that. I think people just end up sending them that, which I thought was amazing. But funny thing is, I'm sure they used it. But so these dudes, 41 days, armed to the teeth, went into this federal building, and just the other day, all 7 defendants free, no charges, exonerated, acquitted. Can you imagine? I ain't even got to do that. I'm not gonna do that because that's dumb. We already know. I'm done with that. If he was black, we know what would have happened if 3 black dudes went up in that building. Okay, if 2 dudes and a baby went in that building would be scrapped right now. That building would be. That site where that building stood would be a memorial, probably dedicated to some white people. But what I'm telling you is, we know what would have happened, okay? But the idea that this is what I'm talking about. This is what everybody talk about. This is why black people are angry. This is why we're frustrated. This is what sucks about this justice system, quote unquote justice system, quote unquote, right? What makes this, yeah, it's not the same as killing somebody, but it's not that. It still sends the message that if you white, ain't nobody gonna check you. If you white, you can do what you want to do. Nobody, white dudes running in the federal building with some guns, they patriots, they're Americans, they're misguided, they're all this other shit, right? But a black dude without a gun in a car listening to the radio is a thug. This is shit we got to deal with every freaking time. And then it's just like, and then we're supposed to celebrate because what? Did the justice system work in this case? Hell no, it didn't work. It worked for them. It worked for a bunch of crazy white dudes with guns. So what happens the next time these dudes want to just be like, yo, what you mean I can't go and I can't build a house on this Indian reservation? What you mean I can't just open up a strip club or whatever it is that they want to do, that they feel like they should do because they white and it's America and they supposed to own it and they supposed to have free reign of everything here? What happens next? Then what is the next step? Because I feel like this is just like letting your dog piss on the couch. You think he not gonna get back up on the couch to take a piss? He absolutely is. You have now given him free reign to piss on your couch. Hell, think about it. Dogs have to piss outside. It's cold. They on the concrete. It's all kind of grass. Whatever, a hydrant is all rusty. That got rust now on a pee hole. Like, but you can now pee on a couch inside. It's all warm and snuggy. Yeah, you're going to piss on a couch. And it's like, well, I already pissed on the couch, so I don't understand why I can't do it again. So basically, it's a countdown before these Bundy brothers, which Bundy still have a problem with that. Like Ted Bundy murder. Okay, cool. So anyway, it's just How do I find a good topic to end this with? Because it just. Oh, on a brighter note, the Justice Department is going to look into prosecuting the officers who murdered Aaron Gardner. Murdered. Yes, that's what the. Don't play with me. And I get it. I should probably be excited and feel good, and because Washington-based federal prosecutors plan to aggressively pursue charges against the NYPD cop Daniel Pantaleo, whatever his name. Who cares? Of Staten Island. Yay, right, guys? So, the what I will say that's good is federal investigators in Brooklyn were replaced by DC counterparts because of their reluctance to bring charges. So that's good. That sounds hopeful. But you know, are these the same federal prosecutors that went up into Baltimore and still found like, oh yeah, Freddie Gray snapped his own spine? So I mean, the idea of it, yeah, okay. It gives me hope because it's 2 years later and this is something that they're doing and they haven't let it die. Okay, that's nice. But is anything really gonna happen? And I want to be hopeful and I want to be excited and I want to feel like there's going to be some type of justice, but or does this dude get into the system? Does he get into jail and just all of a sudden can't nobody find him in a computer? Yeah, remember Daniel Hochsclaw? Yeah, Oklahoma, raped all them women. All of a sudden now they can't find him and he ain't in jail, but they don't know, and he might be in jail, but they can't find him in the computer. That's funny because y'all can find every black person in the computer when y'all put them in jail, but all of a sudden now, so you know what? I'm not. Maybe I need to call this podcast. I'm not gonna do this because, you know, and it's really fucked up that um we live in a society that allows this that allows people that did I say that allows people? I said something that didn't sound right. It's really messed up that we live in a society where people have to beg to see justice, where one group is just automatically like held at a higher standard, right? I mean, at a certain point, why am I even doing this? Maybe I need to go to the library and go check out the reference section and go sit my ass down to read some books. Like, why am I asking these questions when I really know the answer? But maybe I'm asking y'all the question so maybe y'all can think about those answers, and maybe it's something y'all hadn't even considered or thought about. But you get what I'm saying? Like, how is this life? How is this life that there's that we live in a society that is okay with people being murdered and people feeling like because you're a police officer, you should have the right to murder certain people and there should be no consequences or repercussions. And not only do we believe that, but we will uphold that and we will continue to do stuff and make sure that our prosecution and our defenses and our judges and everything supports that. So whether we say it or not, the fact that we always find a way not to find people guilty, not to hold people accountable, not to even bring down charges or bring up charges, but nobody actually is found guilty. Anyway, just something that I want y'all to think about because I've thought about it already and I figured it out and I think inside my brain it makes sense, but just sometimes it stopped making sense. Sometimes I'm like, what? It's almost like when you're looking at a math problem and it's like you see what you're looking at and you can see, but the answer you coming up with should be the right answer, but your professor show you some other shit and you like, but that don't, but see, I carried the one and right. And but my brackets, I got brackets, right? So that means you got to work within the bracket first. And they like, no, actually it's just that infinity is greater and that's just what it is. And that's what I said. And that's just what it's going to be. And you like, but what? Right. I don't know math, so that problem that I just proposed probably doesn't make any sense. But the intent was there, and I think you got that. All right. So, Thank y'all so much for hanging out, man. Shout out to Matthew who tweeted me from the airport and said that he was dying laughing listening to my podcast. Shout out to Carrie who told me that she almost drove off the road listening to my podcast. I've actually heard that a couple of times. So y'all be safe out there, man. I don't need nobody driving off the road and or getting into an accident and then trying to bring up my name. Don't be trying to enter my podcast into evidence talking about well, see, if you listen to this part right here, this is when I actually drove off the road. So I don't think it was my fault that I drove off the road and slammed to this other car, and then I ran into the deer that jumped the gate, and then I hit that gas station and the whole gas station exploded, kill everybody, but I didn't die for some reason, but because I rolled out of the car before the impact, right? Don't try to do no. I don't need I don't want to wake up one day and see Black Ass Podcast wanted for question. Shit. I'm sorry. I don't need to sketch a Black Ass Podcast on the evening news, okay? So y'all, please. Be safe out there. Thank y'all so much for listening. Don't forget to follow Black Ass Podcast on Twitter and Facebook. And you can, of course, find me at my website, hrcomedy.com. Shout out to Refinery29 for naming me as one of the top 50 female comedians you should know. So, you know. No, I'm just playing. So that happened. That was really great. And so, you know, don't forget December 15th, man, if you haven't already signed the mailing list, okay? Or you can go to bit.ly.com/HRComedyDVD. December 15th, I'm recording my first hour special. I want you to be there. If you're in New York, if you want a chance to come, I mean, if you want a reason to come to New York, I'm not doing no giveaways. I ain't got no money. I'm not Oprah. I ain't got it like that, right? But if you are going to be in New York or you plan to come to New York and you thinking, I want to go to New York, but I don't know what I'm going to do when I come to New York. Boom. You can come to my DVD tape in December 15th. You got to sign a mailing list so that you can get all the details and or giveaways and or everything that we're going to do that's going to be amazing for the DVD taping. All right, y'all. So y'all be blessed. Y'all have a good one. And next time, if anybody see Trick Daddy, just tell them, sit short. All right, y'all, I'm out.